We're gonna discover this together if we actually trapped anything. And
Hey, Jimmy. Here's the dog.
Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Welcome to our farm. My name is Aaron. I want to show you what is not welcome. I just found it while I was hilling my potatoes today. I don't know what it is, but it is digging underneath those potatoes. So found a couple of those little holes around and underneath my potatoes. I do not mind wildlife and animal life on our property, but when it messes with my food, that's when it becomes a problem. Pardon if the wind's an issue. It is cooling down tonight. We're getting that delta breeze through here, which we love during the summer. It just kind of cools down at night. We really appreciate that as it starts to heat up here in Northern California. So got some of these gopher traps. I have actually never set one of these before, but they don't look too hard. I think one of the problems is we have 5 barn cats. We spent so much time trying to keep them out of our garden that has made this like a sanctuary for rodents. This is the only bed that I've seen them in. This is going to be a little bit of a trapping adventure for me. Lots of ideas on the shelf at the hardware store. There was bait, there was poisonous worms. Cheapest, best option is these gopher traps. We try to do things humanely without poison as often as we can, because we would hate for a gopher or whatever to eat that poison and then for it to deteriorate in the soil. We couldn't catch it, or it escapes and one of our cats eats it and they die because of the poison. So we try to avoid that at all costs. Let's see if I can make one of these work without losing a finger. And now just break it. Oof. Man, go like that and put that there. That does nothing. I'm so good at this. Okay, figured it out. We have the trip plate, and then we have the trip lever. It's this little guy. Then we have the jaws. Okay, so we want it to end up like that. Make sure you continue to squeeze this because you do not want those jaws to close around your finger. And then you got to put the end of that into that little hole on the trip plate. Now just feel like this is going to be really sensitive. There we go. So I'm going to put a little bit of baling twine through this little hole so that once it traps whatever is underneath there, I can retrieve this trap no problem. I don't have to dig. I don't want to cause a lot of trauma underneath my potatoes. I want to make sure that the least amount of movement and the least amount of digging happens, and so this will make it easy for me to retrieve it once I've caught this little bugger. All right, so here's the hole. Kind of don't really want to stick my fingers down there. These punks are eating my potatoes. I'm gonna be mad. I've got a thing I'm doing later this year where I'm only eating what we provide in our garden. So you can imagine how when you are growing your own food, if something is getting into your food, all the gloves come off. You can be a mole, a vole, a gopher, a rat, a mouse. As long as you stay out my field, you are welcome. My cats will find you, but I will not. I'm gonna widen this out just a little bit. You can see. Kind of afraid something's gonna come out and bite me. Okay, so there we go. It's widened out. I've got my trap that I'm going to set down in there, and I'm going to be careful of that lever to not move it at all. I'm focusing on you guys and this thing at the same time. And then I'm going to tie the string over to this cattle panel that I use to make these little raised beds for specifically for these potatoes. And I think what's happened is this is such soft, awesome dirt that this is just, I mean, they got all the potatoes that they want to eat. So I'm gonna tie this off. So I did see a couple things where you should cover up the hole so they feel like they have to come and cover it. And so I'm just gonna take broadleaf weeds, something that don't weigh a lot, and just put them over that hole. And that is what it's gonna look like in the end. Only time will tell. I'm probably gonna come and check this in the morning and see if I got a bite. I do wanna make sure this is humane, but there does become that issue of they are a pest. These are our calories, and so you cannot eat our calories without us giving up a fight, whether you're a slug or a goat or a mouse or a cat, whatever. If you're messing with my garden, you're messing with nutrition. So we're gonna go eat dinner. We're gonna see what we get in the morning. Okay guys, good morning. It has been lots of animal noise, sorry about that. We gotta milk the cow. I've been checking these traps a couple times over the last couple days and nothing. It hasn't, snapped. I tried to move it one time. I don't think that was helpful, so I put it back in the right place and I came out. The trap has been triggered and I'm just hoping that I can get these little buggers out of my potatoes.
We're gonna discover this together if we actually trapped anything. And yes. Oh my. It's a toad. Oh, buddy. Oh, dude. Oh, man. That makes me sad. It was a toad. There's no way that I thought that would be a toad. I thought I was catching gophers and they're digging through my potatoes. Well, shoot. If it's just a toad, it's welcome. It's not gonna be eating anything, but well, I guess I don't get to pick what I catch at that point. I mean, I have this other hole over here that I'm even second guessing that this might be a toad hole instead of a gopher hole. I can kind of build that frustration against a gopher or a mouse or something like that, especially when it's going to be affecting what we eat. But if it's like a harmless toad, and toads are in fact harmless in the garden, I feel really bad. It makes me a little bit sad that that was a toad and not a gopher, because I was so bent on it being just a pest that was terrorizing my garden. But I mean, I don't know the difference, if it was a gopher or a field mouse or a mole or what. I was just seeing my potatoes being tossed everywhere and just imagining that they were being gnawed underneath, you know. So I mean, as far as I know, a toad is totally welcome and harmless in the garden. I'm gonna have to research that. I'm not like willy-nilly trying to just kill things on our farm. I mean, it was specifically to protect our food source, and so I feel a little bit of regret, but I feel like I've got to learn these things in order to make sure that they don't happen next time. So I'm gonna study up, find out what makes it a toad hole rather than a gopher hole. I just don't know those things. If you know, if you could comment below and let us know what the deal is with toads in the garden and so on and so forth, we'll be happy to have that knowledge for ourselves. So thanks, guys. You know, I am a little bit sad. Appreciate you watching our video. Make sure you like and subscribe on the way out. We do appreciate you being part of our farm. Thank you.